What is up, guys? Welcome to the ThinkComputers Weekly Tech Podcast. This is episode 457, and our podcast this week is brought to you by Amazon. If you go to thinkcomputers.org/Amazon and happen to purchase something that gives us a little kickback and keeps the podcast ongoing, with me, of course, is my co-host, Ryan.
You got us all switched up again. I'm looking at the side of the screen now. There we go.
Ryan was doing us. Why don't you show us your dance moves
No,
you were
I
doing
wasn't
before we
dancing.
started?
I was not doing any dancing at all.
Ryan was doing some dance moves before we went live. So what's going on? Another Wednesday.
Yep.
We are in the middle of summer. We are. So nice outside.
No, it's not.
Well, not for you, but for me.
I went swimming yesterday after work with my kids. Mm-hmm. Took them to the neighborhood pool. It was like 95 degrees out, almost or close to 100, and then like heat index at like 105, right? And got in the pool, and it was just like bath water. So we stayed at the pool for like 20 minutes because we were getting hot just swimming. Okay. So I was like, no, I'm going back inside the house. It's horrible, but it's supposed to cool off, and like the high tomorrow is like 80, which is crazy.
Yeah, I mean, perfect weather in San Diego. This past weekend was Comic-Con. I was down there a little bit. I didn't like go in the thick of it, but I met up with our friends who we just had on the podcast 2 episodes ago, Liquid House. They were in town. We went and got brunch, which was great. So cool. Shout out to them. And if you haven't seen that episode, go back and watch that episode. It's like 2 episodes ago. We had them on. And there's also was a tsunami warning for California.
Yeah, last night.
Because apparently there was like an 8.0 earthquake in Russia. I think.
Yeah, off the coast of Russia. 8.8, I think.
That's crazy. But yeah, nothing, no actual tsunami here, but they always have to put out the warning, just and all that. But yeah, that's kind of what's going on in my neck of the woods. Lots to talk about this week. Some really cool products that I was like really excited to try because we've talked about these for like literally at least a year, right?
Long time,
and we've seen them at shows. So we'll be talking about a gaming handheld that I reviewed. We're talking about a gaming mouse that I reviewed. We have RTX 50 series refresh, which will be RTX 50 Super. We're going to be talking about an unreleased prototype that maybe AMD was working on, something that would at the time would have rivaled an RTX 4090, but of course we know that didn't happen. Ryzen Pro 9000 series CPUs, new Razer headsets, new Elgato Facecam, which looks really, really cool. Lots of gaming handheld news. And of course, we're going to go over the Battlefield 6 trailer, what we saw, what we think it's about, and give you guys our reaction on that. If you do want to follow along, like everything that I just talked about, we have a full show notes page. So if I'm talking about something and you want more information or you want to reference something later, it's all right here on our show notes page. So you can go ahead and click through and see everything. So let's start with gaming handhelds. So like I said, we've been talking about gaming handhelds essentially since the Steam Deck came out, which seems like it's been a while. And then since then, seemingly every company has come out. Companies like Antec have a gaming handheld. You know, Zotac makes more sense than Antec does, but like MSI, ASUS, like everybody has these gaming handhelds. And we've seen them at trade shows, at CES, at Computex. Like we've seen these, but we've never, I've never spent a lot of time actually playing with one. And Ryan and I have always said, like, we have our PC at home where we're going to game, and we don't really have much like of a commute where we could play these type of mobile gaming consoles. So it's been really interesting playing with this right here, which is the Lenovo Legion Go S, which is their second official gaming handheld. And it's been a lot of fun. It is quite cool to play AAA titles on something you can hold in your hand. I think just in general, just to give you my general overview before we dive into the review, I think these are great if this is what you want to use this for, is just like playing games all of the time and you're going to use it, because these aren't necessarily cheap by any means, but the ability to actually play AAA titles on a mobile device. It's comfortable too. So like, as you can see, like the buttons are just in the right place. Everything feels really good. You can load up your games quite easily. And again, it's going to play your AAA titles. Like you can play Cyberpunk on here. You can play Doom on here. You can play kind of, whatever you want. You will find settings that will work on these. It's not like you're going to run these at like the highest settings or anything like that, but it's definitely playable. So I've had a lot of fun playing with this. Probably the only time I'll get to play with this really has been testing this. But we'll jump into the actual review. Like I said, this is their second gaming handheld. They had the Legion Go, which was the initial one that had the sort of like detachable sides, and we talked about it when it came out. This has a more of a unibody design, and it's made to be a little bit more affordable. So you don't have the detachable sides or anything like that. It's going to essentially come in white for the Windows 11 version. There is a Steam OS version, which is we saw this at CES. It's sort of like a purplish blue color. That's the Steam OS one. But if you're going to get it with Windows 11, it is going to be all white. And like I said, it is this sort of like unibody design here. 8-inch IPS panel. It's a variable refresh rate panel up to 120 hertz. Damn, there's a fruit fly in here, man.
Oh no!
You guys just see that go by? This was
I was looking at the screen
before we started the podcast.
He was on a rampage.
I was on a rampage. Kill it! Like I have no clue how these fruit flies got in here. Well, I do because I had the door open to the balcony. But yeah, they're just, anyways. Variable refresh rates. 8-inch, and it's a 1920 by 1200 display, so it's a little bit bigger. It is a bigger display, which I definitely like. And then on each side of the display, you're going to have your controllers or your joysticks. These are Hall effect joysticks. The outer rings are going to, like, you can change the colors. You can make them RGB. This is a little touch panel here, so to use the mouse on this without actually attaching a keyboard and mouse, that's how you do it. Nice. You have your button cluster here, speaker, you have shortcut buttons on this side, and then on the opposite side you have another joystick, and you have your D-pad and a couple of shortcut buttons. And then again, like I told you, when you hold this in your hand, like everything just goes where it's supposed to go. Like it doesn't feel out of place. And as somebody who's really never used something like this to actually play games, like it didn't feel uncomfortable at any point, which I think it's a good thing. I think a lot of people who are buying these, this is like their first real experience with something like this. So the fact that you can pick it up and it's very intuitive, I definitely liked that. On the top edge, you have two Type-Cs. These are USB 4. This is also how you're going to charge this. This does support fast charging. I honestly believe the fast charging is up to 100 watts. They do include a 65-watt wall adapter, but you can charge this with any type of USB charger. You will go ahead and charge. It also just supports DisplayPort 1.4. So if you want to DisplayPort out to a larger display, if you were like putting this, setting this down and playing it on a larger monitor, you can go ahead and do that as well. There is a combo headphone microphone. You have volume plus and minus, and then you have your power button here. And then on each side, you have a button and a trigger. So that's what they look like on each side. You can see those right up top here. So you have a button and a trigger. And again, your fingers just kind of flow to where those are, which is nice. And you have a bunch of ventilation. You can see the ventilation at the top there. You get that there as well. So definitely, like I said, everything is very much in its place. And then on the back, you have this ton of ventilation. You have these actually adjust right here. So this little slider up top here, this adjusts how far down the trigger goes. So you can adjust those. And then you have two back buttons back here. And then on the bottom edge is an SD card slot. So you can
micro SD.
Yeah, micro SD. Yeah. So you can add more storage if you want to. But that's essentially the overall kind of look of this thing. Like I said, it's pretty light too. It's like 1.6 pounds or something. It's not incredibly heavy or anything like that. Now, I did mention it does not come with any type of carrying case or anything like that. So you don't get any carrying case. You essentially just get this is the wall adapter, and then you get this like cardboard stand, which nobody's going to use. It's just a piece of cardboard that like has a cutout so you can like turn into a stand, but it doesn't do everything. Yeah. Oh, we have Liquid House. We were just, I don't know if you missed it, Liquid House, but I was talking about how we went to brunch. Yeah, the ventilation, actually the ventilation on the back doesn't pump out. The ventilation on the top pumps out a lot of heat. But on the back it does not. So, but like I said, it does not come with any carrying case, which I thought was like, I know they're trying to
have something like that, right?
Yeah, just like, I don't want to throw this in my backpack. It's just, and again, this is like a 700. I think this is selling on Amazon for $729. So it's not like it's necessarily a cheap product.
Yep.
So,
and it's not flat. You can't like stick it in necessarily a laptop sleeve because it's got the molded handle. So yeah, you definitely want something dedicated for this. So it's just an extra cost,
so it's just like no carrying case. Under the hood, we do have the AMD Ryzen Z2 Go. Like I said, it is running Windows 11. Integrated graphics, of course, are going to be part of the Ryzen Z2 Go. 32 gigabytes of DDR5, 1 terabyte SSD. It has Wi-Fi 6E as well as Bluetooth. And you can get a version of this that has 16 gigabytes of RAM and 512 gigabyte SSD. And I think it's like close to $650 or something like that. This one's $729.
I think the smart thing there is like go with the 32 gig because it's soldered on to the system.
Yeah.
Right? So you can't update that later, save money now and update later. Not an option.
Yeah. So as far as like, and I kind of wanted to preface this review too by like talking about, I've never used one of these before. I wanted to see how the experience is, right? Like if I'm a first time user of a product like this, how easy is it to set up? How intuitive is it for me to like install my games? I know it's running Windows, but like, how hard is this to, can I use this without a keyboard and mouse attached to it? Like how is this going to be? So you turn it on and there's a Windows update, and like the Windows update takes 45 minutes or something. It's like not a great experience going forward. Once you do load into Windows, it's essentially Windows. So it's just like it looks like that. Like it's just Windows. There is an app called Legion Space, which is sort of like their unified game launcher, and it has all the settings for the device. It's supposed to launch when you launch Windows, but it never did. And I had to toggle that off and toggle it back on for it to launch when the device launches, which is, again, another Windows, probably a weird Windows thing. But when you do launch it, it is a game launcher as well as like a store you can buy, and this comes from all the different game launchers. So it supports Steam, it supports Xbox, it supports Ubisoft, it supports Rockstar, like all the major game launchers it supports. And once you install something like Steam, it will load all your games up. So when I installed Steam and installed some games, they go right in your library here, and it's very easy. Just like one-click launch, and you're good to go. So it is a unified launcher for all of your games, so you don't have to like, I have to open Steam, I have to do this, I have to do that. And then it has all your settings within this app too, so you can see like your fan, your temperatures, and like your speed of everything. You can go in and you can set different performance, and this will definitely affect battery life. So there's like a quiet mode, a balance mode, a performance mode. Within the custom mode, you can actually set voltages or how much power it's going to use. So if you really want to conserve power, you can set your own custom performance level. And again, that will definitely help with your battery life.
It's going to affect your noise too. It looked like fan settings are going to be different with each of those. So
yeah, you can set your resolution, your display scale, your brightness of your display, your refresh rate. You can select 60 or 120 hertz. And again, it is going to be a variable refresh rate. Just stuff for like your audio settings, and you can go through your, there's your single drive. You can do driver updates as well as Windows updates directly from this app as well. So it has pretty much everything. And then you have like your main settings. and this boot automatically into the Legion space. This was toggled on, but again, it didn't do it. I had to toggle it off, restart it, open this up, toggle it on, restart, and then it finally did it. So I don't know what's up with that. But then like the lights, you can change like on the joysticks. You can do all of that within that. And then you can press the top button on the right side, and it brings up this sort of like pop out, which is essentially the same thing, but it's just in a different thing. So you can see like, again, your performance, you can see everything there. You can turn Wi-Fi and Bluetooth on or off. It's a lot of the same settings, just in a different way on the side. So it's just easier to access. But everything's there. Very easy to go ahead and do. So that was like kind of my general experience. I did download Steam on its own, not through this app. I just downloaded it. Everything ran no problem. And the one thing I was really concerned about is I remember back in the day, and this shows my age. Do you remember the Steam controller?
Oh yeah, I have one within arm's reach. Yeah.
Yeah. So Steam controller, you know, but you had to go into every game and set it up for this. Configure it. So I was like, do I really have to do it? Like that's the mindset that I had going into this was I have this game console here, you know, and I have to configure for every game I want to play. I have to configure the joysticks. I have to do everything.
Yeah.
That was not the case at all. You just launched everything and all the games were like ready to go. Every game that I played was ready to go. I didn't have to change any setting. All the buttons worked. The joysticks worked. It was just super easy. So that was like a big thing because not for us, like for me and you, Ryan, like it's no problem to go in and change the settings, but like
it's still like a pain.
It's definitely a pain, but like for a newbie, they're like, wait, what? Like I have to, you know what I mean?
Right.
So it was very intuitive. I think probably since the Steam Deck came out, they've made it really easy for those integrations, and all the games are all ready to work like that. So that was definitely a relief. Playing games is like it really is awesome on this. Just like I said, just like being able to play a AAA title like in your hand. Cyberpunk, like you're just going through, and it looks so good on this display as well. It looks really, really good on this display. Now, performance wise, you're not going to get crazy performance. The performance is not going to be amazing, but you have to realize you're playing on a much smaller screen too. So you're not going to see like
things may not be as apparent.
Yeah, it's not going to be as apparent. So I tested this with the performance setting on the device. I tested it plugged in and unplugged. You lose like 3 to 5 FPS when you have it unplugged, but if you use the same setting, it's kind of the same. But most of the games I tested were on like a very low preset, like Black Myth Wukong, low preset. Cyberpunk 2077, they have a Steam Deck preset. That's what I used. F124 used medium. Horizon Zero Dawn used very low. So if we look at these, I'm getting 30 FPS, 23 FPS, 55 in F1, 30 FPS in Cyberpunk, and 50 FPS in Black Myth Wukong. That's with frame generation turned on. And then you can, of course, drop down the resolution. I dropped it down to 1200 by 800, and it got a little bit better performance. But again, when we talk about we test graphics cards normally, like 44 FPS would be pretty horrible. But 44 FPS on a 4K monitor compared to like something in your hand is just a lot different. I think when it comes to pretty much any game out there, you're going to find a setting and you can really configure it so it's still going to look good and it's going to be very playable. I think you will find that setting for whatever game. Like, again, the fact that I can still play Cyberpunk on this
on handheld is kind of wild.
And it's playable. And again, Cyberpunk has that Steam Deck setting, which changes a bunch of things to make that possible. I don't have anything to compare it to because I don't have a Steam Deck. I don't have an ROG Ally or any of the other gaming handhelds. From what I saw, those perform slightly better. I think one thing that does bog down a lot of these handhelds is Windows 11. It's just not. It's not a great mobile gaming experience. And I think for most people, get the Steam OS version.
Yeah, that's what I was going to say. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a Steam OS version of this specific handheld that, I would do that just because Windows, and like 45 minutes to update is just not a great experience out of the box either.
Do you get the same, like those overlay or the configuration app you were showing? Do you get some of that control on the Steam one? Do you know? Like, I wonder how they handle that type of stuff.
I would think so.
Controlling the power and all that.
I mean, SteamOS is Linux, so
hopefully they got something similar.
Yeah, I don't know. I think there's only like a couple reviews of the SteamOS one because it just came out, and I think you can only buy the SteamOS one at Best Buy
from them. Oh, okay.
No, just at Best Buy. I don't think you can buy it anywhere else. At least not currently. You can't buy it on Amazon. This one you can buy on Amazon.
Yeah.
But overall,
does it have a kickstand? Because you've shown it here a couple times. Like,
you can,
and that's why I'd want it like on a plane if you want to watch a movie or something. I wish.
No, so like you can set it. Like if I put it over here, you guys.
It'll stay.
Yeah, like you can set it right there, but it will stay like that. But there's no kickstand or anything like that. And again, that little cardboard thing that I don't even know why they did that, because nobody's going to use that, or nobody's going to take that little piece of cardboard with them, to use on the plane. So yeah, not like, especially for watching media and things like that, not having the kickstand, not having the case, not the biggest fan of. So yeah, it's $729.99 right now on Amazon. $649 for the one that has 16 gig and 512 gig SSD. I gave it an 8 out of 10, mainly because, again, no travel case. Just Windows 11 is just not I feel like they should have a separate Windows OS for these specifically. That's just better.
Trim out a lot of the extra
and then
stuff
the fans, especially like when you're gaming, and if you don't have like earbuds or you don't have a headset, it is decently loud.
How are the speakers on it? Are they okay?
They're all right. I mean, they're like
what you expect from a handheld.
Yeah, it's what you expect from a handheld. I think most people will put earbuds or like a headset on there. And again, you have Bluetooth and you have all that. And again, you could use this as like a lightweight PC just for like basic things. You can, connect a keyboard and mouse to this, no problem. You'll need like a dongle or a USB hub or something like that, but you can definitely go ahead and do that. I like this. I can't compare it to an ROG Ally or a Steam Deck just because I haven't tested those, but I'm definitely sold on this concept if you're somebody who wants to play AAA titles on the go and actually be able to play them. I didn't talk about battery life. On that performance setting, playing something like Cyberpunk, you're going to get around 2 hours. It's not like something that's going to play for a very long time. Now, you can increase that by changing the power settings, turning the brightness down. Like you could probably get, I assume you could maybe get up to 3.5 hours if you changed a bunch of settings. But on the performance setting, I had the screen brightness at 70%. That's kind of, I was right around 2 hours you're going to get for that. So yeah, like I said, I'm definitely sold. Only thing I didn't like is like the touchpad here is just small. Like it's very, very small.
I was surprised it was a touchpad. I thought it was maybe like a fingerprint reader.
Yeah, it's that small where you think that's what it is, but it is a touchpad. Yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. I don't know if you had any other questions about it.
No, I mean, I think without a case, that kind of stinks. Do they? And I wish it had some sort of docking option, right? I'm so used to the Switch, just being able to like pop it into that thing.
I mean, you can
have
buy
all their connectivity like real easy. I'm sure you can buy third-party ones.
Yeah, I think
that would be my want. If I was to buy one of these, because to me, like you said, our use case, we've got our home computer and we're going to game on that most of the time. But if I was someone that was buying this as my main gaming rig, I would love to be able to just throw that into some sort of holder, maybe something with some fans on it to help with cooling. Yeah, so they've got some docks there.
So there's like this is but I don't know if these are for this one or for the original
version.
Yeah, and then like I don't know if they sell a carrying case. I would hope they would sell a carrying case. I don't know. Maybe not. I mean, there's no carrying cases in this Legion Go accessories page on Lenovo. But I mean, you can buy something that's kind of like for this. But yeah, those are kind of the downsides. But beyond that, like I said, everything, I liked it. I was kind of like, is this actually going to be a good experience? And was a pretty good experience overall. You have to have the expectation that, you know, you're not going to get like 120 FPS out of this, especially playing something like Cyberpunk or whatever. But, you know, especially if you're like a casual gamer, like any of those type of titles are going to play great on this.
Yep.
Because you have some pretty, compared to like, you know, the sort of emulation gaming handhelds, this has a lot more powerful hardware in it. So yeah, that's kind of my thoughts. Yeah, just like I said, I had a lot of fun with it. So yeah, definitely go ahead and check that review out. We'll switch gears. Well, still in gaming, but we'll switch gears over to a gaming mouse, which it is sitting right here. And I actually used this for quite a while up until like I switched back the other night. So this is the ASUS ROG Harpe Ace Mini. So it's a smaller mouse. So if you like compare, this is like a normal size Razer mouse, and then this is the Harpe Ace Mini. So you can see it's
a bit smaller.
It's a little bit smaller, but it's not.
It's not like tiny travel mouse.
Yeah, but you could use it for a travel mouse because it is like smaller. And one thing I actually really like what they did with this is that, so there is a Harpe Ace, which we reviewed the AIM Lab version, but they didn't keep the same design, like the same shape. They changed the shape a little bit because when you make something smaller, sometimes the shape doesn't translate.
Yeah.
So the shape is a little bit different. And I feel for the size is actually, the shape is great for the size that you go ahead and get. It's a 49-gram mouse. It features their Aimpoint Pro optical sensor. So that's a 42K DPI sensor. It has their ROG optical micro switches. It does support 8K wireless polling, but you need to buy the polling adapter thingy. It does not out of the box. It will be a 1000 hertz wireless, you know, and it has like all the things that like the other ones had too. So if you're Ryan and you like the grips on the sides, it comes with the grips. It comes with the ones that go on the actual buttons as well. It comes with different mouse skates too. So like the ones that are on there are the triangles, as you can see.
Oh, so they got some bigger ones too?
They got some bigger ones. If you like that, comes with a bunch of stickers as well. Comes with your wireless adapter and all of that, USB cable for charging it, or if you want to use it in USB mode. And even though it's smaller, like I said, it's not like, it doesn't feel like, again, like those like travel mice. It's kind of in between the travel mouse size and like a normal size mouse. Yeah, and it's like pretty simple mouse. 2 main buttons, 2 side buttons, scroll wheel. That's essentially it. It is a little bit textured on the sides. So you get a little bit of texture on that side and a little bit of texture here. But beyond that, that's it. It is a unibody design. There's no holes or anything like that. There's no cutouts. And it does pass like the, I'm not going to break it if I press it in test.
Yes.
Which happens.
It's very scientific.
I've broken a couple. And then, yeah, so then on the bottom, you can switch between Bluetooth, wired, or 2.4 gigahertz wireless mode. The one thing I love about this too is that the USB dongle actually goes into the mouse. So if you did want to use it as a travel mouse, you'll never be without the dongle because it fits in this little slot right here, which is nice. And then you have a DPI button right here that switches between DPI. And then this one will switch your lift-off distance on the fly. So you can do all of that stuff on the fly. Pretty simple mouse as far as, like, again, design goes. You can kind of see the drop from the top of the mouse to the front. Type-C for charging, or if you want to use it in wired mode. But yeah, pretty simple overall mouse. It feels really good in the hand. And like I said, a lot of times when it comes to smaller mice, like I review it and then I kind of just like immediately switch it out. And the only reason I switched it out is because like it just died. So I just was like, well, I'll just, you know,
use this other one. Yeah.
Use the other one that I have here. But it does actually feel really, really good. And like, yeah, I keep on getting lower and lower when it comes to like weight, but I mean, 49 grams feels really, really good.
Light. Yeah.
Yeah. It does feel really, really good. Now you can use Armory Crate or Armory Crate Gear. If you're not familiar with Gear, it's essentially a lightweight version of Armory Crate because Armory Crate essentially is bloated. I'm already using Armory Crate because I have an ASUS motherboard and all of that. So I already had it, so I just used Armory Crate, and it's pretty easy to, you can remap all your buttons. There's 4 different DPI levels. You can change all of those. You can set the DPI from 100 all the way up to 42,000, angle snapping, polling rate, angle tuning. There is some lighting. It is on the scroll wheel. You can change that. You can calibrate this, which I actually love. So 1, this is going to work on a glass surface, which some mice won't. You can calibrate it to your current surface, so you can do manual calibration, but they also have all of the ASUS mouse pads. They have preset into the software. So if you are using an ASUS mouse pad, they already have like the calibration set for that, which is nice. Power. Oh wait, I didn't put that in there. You can go over to power, and that's just like the power settings, like when it goes to sleep and all of that. And then the receiver is their unit receiver. So you can pair multiple ASUS devices. So like you have an ASUS headset and you have an ASUS mouse and maybe an ASUS wireless keyboard. You don't need 3 different dongles plugged into your computer. So you're using 3 USB ports. You can use 1, which is really nice. So you can go ahead and do that. And of course you can update the firmware and everything like that. So the software's, again, we've all used, if you're using an ASUS device, you've either used Armory Crate or Armory Crate Gear. I like it that we have the ability for Gear. Gear is sort of getting a little heavier as well, but not as heavy as the normal Armory Crate. Like I said, I use this. It feels really, really good. No issues with wireless connectivity. Like I said, it feels good in the hand. It's very snappy. No real issues at all. It is currently $96, which is kind of expensive. The MSRP was actually $129, so it's down from what it was when it launched. You don't get 8,000 hertz pulling with this unless you get the pulling rate booster. I don't even know how much it is. It's like really hard to find that thing even for sale anywhere. But I like this mouse. I think that like having a smaller, like there was who was it? Pulsar. When I was at the J2 Sense events, Pulsar was there, and they had like this tiny little, like you just like use your like 2 little fingers. I was like, I don't think I could ever use that, but like moving down to something this small as like my actual mouse and my gaming mouse has been kind of nice. It's like a little bit smaller, but it moves effortlessly, and I actually really like it. Like I don't know. I might, like I said, I'm using the Razer now, but I might actually use this as my main mouse. I just like it a lot. So yeah, that's kind of what I think. Like I said, it is kind of expensive for what it is, especially considering you don't get the 8,000 hertz pulling out of the box. But yeah, overall, I think it's quite nice. So yeah, check out the review if you are interested. And we'll move on from there to Case Mod Friday. Of course, that's where we feature a mod or build in the community. And this week we have the Black Matcha Green build. And this one is from B Builds. And it's a pretty, again, we call these simple. They're not necessarily that simple, but it's like very, not like a bunch of crazy modding. Of course, we have our hard tubing in here and everything. But like, I was kind of interested in this like color, like the blue with the green.
I don't like the blue with the green. Like I love how it looks when the lights are off, right?
Okay.
Like, with these powered off. I think that color combo is really good. I think that matcha green looks really nice in the system. I wish they would have either done like a white lighting or maybe tried to get pretty close to that green.
I see. I don't.
I mean, it still looks good, but
I don't think you could get that green. It just wouldn't look right.
Yeah, it'd be so hard.
Yeah. But what's nice about this, these are all RGB fans. Everything's all RGB, so you can choose the color that you want.
I like their routing though, coming out of the CPU block, just how it comes out on that right side, and then the choices they went with those lines.
Yeah, if you are wondering, this like all of this, all the fans and the case, it's all stock color. You can get it in this matcha green. All of this, which is kind of nice.
It's all Thermaltake hardware too, except for the GPU block, I think, right?
Yeah. So all of
and the pump reservoir.
Yeah. So yeah, most of this is all Thermaltake water cooling as well. A lot of people don't know that Thermaltake does have like a full-on hard. They have like hard tubing kits that like have the bending and they have all that stuff. A lot of people don't know, but but yeah, just a nice little build here from B Build. So shout out to him for this one. Well, I like it. I like these cases too. These Thermaltake cases. Which case is this? This is the View 380. Like their View cases are like so perfectly made for like this type of build, because you can put they have the side mount, so you can put like the reservoir in there, and then it's just very easy to kind of do everything else. So Liquid House says they dig the color combo, Ryan.
That's fine.
Yeah, I do like I said, I think like the blue with the green is yeah, it just goes. That's why it caught my attention. It just goes together quite well. I didn't mention the CPU block too is from Thermaltake.
Yep, with the screen. I also like how they used a thicker radiator on the bottom to like fill up kind of the gap between the GPU. So and the fans, you know, so it's like there's not a big gap there. And then that shot, go to another one where it's like kind of showing the GPU block. And so they've got they have a clear, and I didn't notice it till just now. They have like a clear GPU anti-sag piece between the right fan and the GPU, the corner of the GPU. You can't see it. You can't see
it's right here. It's right here. Yeah, it's right there. Yeah, I didn't notice that.
They use some tubing, it looks like, maybe to hold that up, which is kind of cool.
Yeah, or a piece of
stealthy.
Yeah. Interesting. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, so shout out to B Builds for this one. Like I said, I like the color combo. I think it looks good. And again, these Thermaltake cases are like just so easy to do. I like a lot of cases like this. These sort of like, this is like, again, very Lee and Leo 11 dynamic, where you have the side mount, so you can put this. And I think having the reservoir there just adds a lot more. So yeah, definitely check that out if you are interested. And we'll move on to news. Are you ready for RTX 50 refresh?
Oh, we talked about this the other day, and it's like, I'm not ready, but let's bring it on, I guess.
Yeah.
I guess I'm ready for the news. I'm not ready for the products to actually be here.
Holiday.
So I guess we've got holiday, so we've got a little bit of time.
That's the rumor. That's the rumor that we will have an RTX 5080 Super, RTX 5070 Ti Super, and an RTX 5070 Super holiday. I don't know if they're all going to launch at the same time. But I mean, it would like kind of make sense, but we could see them at CES 2020. It's going to be 2026, man. What the heck? It's like, what's going on here? We talked about this when we heard the first initial leaks. 5080 Super will have 24 gigabytes of GDDR7. 5070 Ti will have 24 gigabytes, and the 5070 will have 18 gigabytes. These are all increases in VRAM from what we saw on their originals, and a steady increase. Like the 5080 went from 16 gig to 24.
That's a big jump.
Yeah. Again, this is all speculation. We don't know. But do you think we'll see these for holiday, like come out announce end of November, pick it up first, second week of December for Christmas time?
Maybe. I would hope. I mean, it to me, it would make sense to have them available for Black Friday, but they're not that they're going to be on sale, right? Cheaper. So I guess that doesn't really matter. Yeah, I think we could see that. But I could also see them holding off on this and this being their big thing at CES, right? Like, because if you do this, what, a month and a half ahead of CES, then what do you?
Well, they could do these ones, right?
And then do another
then do the 50, 60. No, I don't think we're going to get a 5090 Super.
Well, that's true.
But like you have your 5060 Ti Super, 5060 Super. You know what I mean? You could do the like the rest. I don't know. It'll be interesting. I feel like
I'll be curious to see what the price increases are.
Price increase, or like, do you think they'll be like it's the same price as what the other one launched at, and then the other one just drops down, like or like they'll take it out of the channel, so like you can't.
I could see them stop making them, which kind of sucks. But I don't think we'll see any price drops.
Not price drop, like the same price. So whatever,
but your previous version would also drop. Is that what you're saying? Like a standard like 5080 would drop in price?
It would drop in price, but it would be.
I don't think we'll see that.
It would be taken out of the channel too. So like you can get them, or maybe
until they're gone.
Or like maybe they'll stay the same price, and then the super version comes out at the same price the original launched at. You think?
No.
Oh, you think it's okay? All right. Yeah, we'll see what happens. Holiday, man. It's like I said, it's summer, and then we'll be right into holiday time. It's gonna be busy. We're gonna get real busy here. Now this was an interesting story. So with the Radeon 7000 series, it didn't compete in the super high end, if you remember. We didn't have something that competed against the 4090, just like we don't have something that competes against the 5090, and that's very frustrating for people who are buying in that price range because there's only one option, right? And even in the 5080, there's only one option. Yeah. It's NVIDIA. But this was really interesting. So there's a prototype cooler that somebody had, and you can see the difference in size. It's huge. It's huge compared to this card here. And like this is the 7900 XTX. So this would have been, I guess, a 7950 XTX or whatever they were trying to do. And the 7900 XTX was their highest end card in the 79 or 7000 series. So just like the size difference is pretty crazy. Also, you can see like,
wow.
There's
for three
8 pins on there. Do you think they were trying to, come out with this and it just wasn't feasible, or like, what do you think they were doing?
Yeah, I think ambition was there, like to do it, but I'm guessing performance just wasn't there for what they were getting. Probably for what they would have to charge for it. It wasn't going to make enough sense to
like if it's not close or beating the 4090, then it's kind of not worth it, right?
Right. They're like, we don't know where to.
Yeah. So like the segmentation might not have been great either. But yeah, kind of interesting to see like that was. Liquid House says, I think AMD is scared to spend money. Yeah, I mean that could be it too.
I love the in-house design of these coolers though. I think they look so good.
Like that little red line.
Accent. Yeah,
it just does so much for that. But yeah, these were beautiful cards at the time too. Like I was actually really impressed with like the stock AMD design. But yeah, kind of interesting. Maybe they were also working on the same thing with this, this new series, and then they're like, nah, we're good. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like, so we'll see. If we see maybe in a year, we'll see another weird prototype that, from this generation. Also talking about AMD Ryzen Pro 9000 series CPUs. Don't really care because this is all for business. This is, Pro series. So you have a Ryzen 9 Pro 9945, a Ryzen 7 Pro 9745, and a Ryzen 5 Pro 9645. None of you guys are buying these because they're for workstation business. But these are the leaked models. These should be coming out pretty soon. 65-watt TDP on these. Nothing crazy. Do you, like, for work, do you guys use any Ryzen Pro stuff?
No.
Yeah, everything's Intel.
I'm sorry, we're all Intel. Yeah.
Yeah, that's what I figured. New headset from Razer. So I use the Razer Black Shark V2.
You use that thing forever.
It's so comfortable. Like I can put it on now, and it's still one of the most comfortable headsets I've ever used. So they finally came out with a new version. Black Shark V3 Pro wireless, white and black. I haven't looked at any of the reviews. There's some. I know Bad Seed Tech did a video on this, but I haven't had time to watch it. Yeah, it just looks
it looks less gamery than the one that you had, because yours was the green one, right?
Yeah, it was the white,
which is super gamer looking. These almost look more aviation style.
Yeah, same ear. Like one of my favorite things about these was the ear cup design. It just like it just fit on your head right. Like that's the biggest thing. Like you wear these headsets for
comfort
hours. You want it to be comfortable. One thing I did notice is this big dial. This is like a keyboard dial. You see that?
I do.
Yeah. Let's see if we have a better, like, that's a big dial.
It sticks out real far.
Yeah, that's kind of interesting. It makes it easy. Like this is the Fractal headset and has like a sort of a dial, but it's on the back. But that's like right on the side there. Yeah, that's like essentially like a same dial you see on a keyboard. I didn't even notice that till just now. That's definitely different from the V2. But yeah, do we have price on these? Let's see. Price.
Removable microphone.
Yeah, of course, removable microphone, wireless. THX. Oh yeah, that's another reason I use this, because like that's when we first started playing Apex too, and like the spatial audio was really, really good. So you could like really tell. I'd be like, Ryan, how did you not hear that guy coming? And Ryan would be dead. So that was the good thing. Active noise cancellation. Did they have? Black Shark V3 Pro for PC.
I know.
How much? How much? $299? There's nothing here.
What the heck?
Oh, $249. It's down here.
Oh, there it is. Yeah.
Yeah. I'm like, where's the price up here? $249.
Yeah. Wow.
Yeah, $249. So not cheap. But you are getting like their hyperspeed wireless, which is really, really good. A lot of people like these like no-name companies you see on Amazon that have like a 2.4 gigahertz wireless keyboard.
Yeah, but there's
mouse.
lag and
there's like input lag, and it like again, ASUS and Razer really like they make it so you don't get any of those like wireless issues. Like it just works. But yeah, $249.99. Oh man, I kind of like it. Just looks like like I said, I used the V2 for so long that like I know how comfortable this headset's going to be.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, check it out at CES and then pick one up, maybe,
Yeah, we'll see. So yeah, that's that. Talking about streaming and gaming, Elgato New Face Cam 4K.
I saw this.
So, I know the thing that I'm most excited about this. So you're going to get 4K 60 out of this. Let's see, 4K 60. The lens filter support. So it has a 48 millimeter thread on there. So you can buy different lenses for this. So if you wanted to do different effects, things like that,
you can put different filters on it.
Yeah, filters. So if you you can put different filters on there to do different things. I really like that. That's the first time I've seen that on like a webcam.
I would love to see this with, like you said, some sort of like assortment of lenses. Not that like, I don't know, that's going to change your like how far back you got your camera and everything, so I guess it doesn't always make sense, but I can see people trying to use this in like a multicam setup because it's a nice quality camera and they may want a different lens on there. We'll see it at some point. I'm sure someone will come out with a swappable lens webcam.
Well, and like I said, nice. the filters, what's the one that makes it like sort of diffuse? What is that called?
The ND filters?
No, not an ND filter. It's called, I almost bought one. A mist filter. Like a mist filters are super cool. And like if you had a mist filter, it makes it look like it's really, really cool. So I really like that. And this is like I said, 4K 60, super easy, USB right in. You don't have to like Ryan and I use like capture cards for running our cameras. Has like their control hub, makes it really, really easy to go ahead and do everything. Goes right on top of your monitor. $200. $199.
Yep.
Not a bad price either. So I'm pretty, like I said, I think Elgato is doing really good things and just like giving you all those features that you like with this kit, like with my camera and like Ryan's camera, like these are like normal cameras, so we can like adjust how everything is. But yeah, for like you're getting a lot of those same features in something that's $200, and it's easy to use. That's the biggest thing.
Yeah, as I say, I've got like power running, a dummy battery, and a Canon camera, with an HDMI to a capture card, and that's just like, oh, here, let me plug in one cable and I'm done.
Yeah, it's super easy. We'll move on from there, and I believe it's available now. You can pick it up now too, if you did want to get that. So gaming handhelds, we just talked about the Legion Go S. Like I said, huge fan of these. We have some gaming handheld news. First thing, ROG Xbox Ally pre-order dates and pricing leaks. This is supposed to launch or be announced at Gamescom. Pre-order date August 20th, day before my birthday. And then potential launch window will be in October. So again, holiday. This is This will be the holiday device probably for people in the PC gaming world who want a gaming handheld. Perfect launch time, perfect like window, and I think it will be ready. I think that's when we will see it, because they already did have their like preview events where they had some that were like, I think they were like dummy units. I don't think they were actually running games, from what I saw. But yeah, this, like I said, this is going to be the holiday thing. $599 ROG Xbox Ally, and then the Xbox Ally X will be $799 to $899. I don't know how I feel about these, like this part.
I was just gonna say the same thing. I was like, I like the look of like the Legion Go S that you have. I don't know how that. I guess I'd have to hold it. How that little
I'm sure. I'm sure
it's fine.
Yeah, I'm sure it's fine. Like we look at these and like then you hold it, you're like, yeah, but like it just, I don't know about that part of it. But yeah, this will probably be the device. And like I have friends that like aren't PC gamers, and they're like, oh, did you hear about that like Xbox handheld? Like, what's that gonna be? Like they're asking me questions about it.
Yeah.
Look what Hal says. It looks a bit weird, but yeah, I bet it's super comfy. Was thinking of that the other day. Yeah, that's the biggest thing. Like even with this one, like I was like, is this gonna be comfortable? Like, and again, I'm not like a controller person. Like I'm a keyboard and mouse person too, but this was very intuitive. So I have to think that this was tested and like they held it. Sure. And again, this is very much like Xbox. If you use an Xbox controller, you definitely like know.
I'm guessing that's probably why, right? You have that familiarity with Xbox.
Yeah. So
console.
We'll see. I'm excited for this, and if this brings more mobile gaming handhelds to like the mainstream, I'm definitely a fan of it. I still, just like I said when this was initially announced, I would have liked an Xbox made device.
In-house
Microsoft made device. I know ASUS is making this, but I would have liked to have seen that. Was it like, is it like a matter of it's slipping out, right? Like the Switch does it a ton. The Steam Deck is much better, I think. Yeah. I don't know, like how, like I said, you have to like pick these up and just kind of figure out how they feel in your hand. And again, with these devices, like most of them should be pretty comfortable unless it's like being rushed out. But I can't imagine for this being their technically first gaming handheld that they would put out something that wasn't like extensively tested. Yep. It just wouldn't make sense. And then the one that I think everybody's really would be excited for, we're finally going to get a Steam Deck too, you think? Steam Deck,
it's been popular.
Is probably the most popular one, and it still like performs very well from what I've seen compared to even newer ones. Looks like we might get a Steam Deck too. Could have there is a Steam Deck OLED now, so they have one with an OLED, but this one could just ship with an OLED. It could use AMD Zen 2 processor, more memory in there and all of that. We don't really know that much details because again, like ASUS, they already have like, their next gen. Every year they're coming out with a new one. Like Valve was just like put it out, and then like there hasn't been it's been a while. Sure. So do you think they're working on a Steam Deck too?
I think it'd be odd for them not to be working on a second version, right? Like you said, they've got a device that already handles things quite well, even compared to newer current devices. So, and I think they've sold pretty well. So I think it would just make sense for them to make a updated version of it, And we've seen them make good hardware in the past. I mean, the first Steam Deck was good. Their Vive, the controllers we talked about, right? They've got a history of making hardware. Maybe they'll just start ramping up iterations now, right?
Yeah, I think they do. I think they kind of do the right thing. Like they make a device that I remember when it's Steam Deck came out.
Back. Yeah,
it was expensive, at the time, and then, but yeah, it doesn't feel outdated even now. So I think they have to kind of find that right kind of mix of hardware that's going to last at least a few years, where it doesn't feel old over time. You know what I mean?
Yeah, the resolution and refresh rate seem a little interesting. I'm surprised like the rumors don't show like 120 hertz.
Yeah,
but you can save some battery, right?
Yeah, yeah, we'll see. It'll be kind of interesting to see. You know, and I mean, when we're not going to see this for holiday.
No,
we
would have seen more concrete evidence.
Yeah, I think probably next year. We'll like sometime next year, maybe. If it again, maybe they just make one and that's it. You know, you never know. We'll see, because we were still waiting for Half-Life 3. so yeah. Talking about gaming, Battlefield 6 trailer. Ryan and I both watched it. Multiplayer trailer comes out tomorrow, the 31st. So I'm definitely excited for the multiplayer trailer. This trailer showed us, like, I guess, like, the story is going to be some type of like terrorist style attack, and there was a lot of New York being shown, the Brooklyn Bridge blowing up. Like, what did you get out of the trailer?
Yeah, I don't know if I'd call. I don't think I would associate the word terrorist attack with it. It's they kind of show the president addressing the nation, and like this mercenary army, but it's a big mercenary army, like either has been paid for by other countries.
And what I saw was, like, when they're talking about that, like, and then you see this helicopter crash like into a building.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, are they like hacking or like doing some
bringing
type
things
of
down?
Yeah, that's that's the vibe I got when I watched the trailer. We do have the trailer in the article if you guys haven't seen it yet.
Yeah. James from Twitter, he said Civil War. Yeah, it kind of feels kind of like that, right? You've got the U.S. is kind of the not. I don't want to say bad guy. I think other people have gotten fed up with the U.S. and are bringing the heat, right? And now this is kind of a defensive.
And that's the thing. The thing I like about this is, like, I think multiplayer is going to be the big thing with this game. But all Battlefield games have had campaigns, like, and I'm actually excited for that. I like playing a game where, like, I can just play a story and feel like I'm in the story. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
But yeah,
there's a lot of vehicles.
A lot of vehicles that we saw.
Four-wheelers, jets.
A lot of fighting in New York. It's kind of hard to tell where, like, some of the other areas were.
I saw some pyramids in the background.
Or something. Yeah. So it should be, imagine like a pyramid multiplayer type. That would be kind of cool. Really cool map.
Some like ruins or something. Yeah.
But the best thing I like about Battlefield games, especially like the campaigns too, it's like very fast paced, like very, very fast paced. Like, you feel like you're like in, you're not just running around doing the thing. Like, you feel like you're in the battle. So I'm excited. I'm excited for this. Like I said, multiplayer reveal will be tomorrow. So we'll get to see, like, hopefully we'll get to see, like, this was like Ryan, like we were talking earlier, this is like a lot of cutscenes, not really a lot of like any gameplay.
Right. Yeah.
So
they even say that they're like, hey, this is not in game, but it is game engine footage. So
yeah.
Hopefully tomorrow we see some good stuff.
We see some gameplay. We also see maybe some gameplay mechanics. Like, everybody's going to want to see the multiplayer battle royale modes, or like whatever that's going to be. So that's going to be tomorrow. So I'm pretty pumped for it. We'll definitely have to get this, and then when it comes out, we'll do a stream. We'll do a gaming stream.
Yeah, for sure.
For this. And like I said, hopefully it has some cool, like, I assume it's going to have all the real-time ray tracing, path tracing, all that kind of cool stuff. I would hope that's all in the game as well. We can use it for benchmarks going forward. Like, I'm excited. I Battlefield games, like, definitely hold a special place in my heart, because I grew up playing these. I mean, these were so much fun, and they were always a game to also bring something new that we hadn't seen before. Like, I remember 64-player multiplayer. You're like, oh my God, that's so many people.
Yeah.
And then also having a game where there was, like, not just ground troops, but you could fly all the vehicles, you could do all that stuff. Like, it
Yep.
Yeah,
you get teamed up with like one of those good pilots, and that just can actually fly well and maneuver.
And I think wasn't Battlefield one of the first games too, where like the environment was like you could blow up the environment like around you and stuff like that.
Possibly, yeah.
Yeah, it's one of those first games too. So yeah, really excited for this. Like I said, if you haven't seen the trailer, it's in the article, or you can just go on YouTube and find it. But yeah, I'm pretty pumped. I'm excited to see the trailer tomorrow as well. Get some information on that. Talking about what we have coming up next week, I'm taking a look at another NVMe SSD, and this one is not like necessarily like a real one. It's made by Bywin, which we actually covered at Computex. They make a lot of OEMs, and this is sort of like an OEM drive they sent us. This is the Acer FA200. It's a Gen 4 NVMe SSD, up to 7,200 megabytes a second read, and it's very affordable. So this is like a 1 terabyte is $70. So we'll give you a review of that. You can get it up to 2 terabytes as well for $124.99. So not bad pricing on that either. But again, it's made by Bywin, and Bywin will be entering the US market like under their own name as well, coming up. Cool. So it'll give you kind of a preview into that. Might have some other stuff coming up next week. Just depends on how busy we get with things. Now, the question of the week pertains to gaming handhelds. Now, any gaming handheld, not just like the really expensive ones, but like with what you have going on and everything, would you ever buy a gaming handheld of any kind?
Yes, because I already did. I bought. It's just one of those emulators, right?
Cheap. Like what are you emulating? Like up to what? Like Super Nintendo or like?
Yeah, I mean past. Yeah, I don't remember if it does PS1 or not. Have it here.
Which one is it? Do you remember?
I don't know.
Is it like an Abernic or whatever?
No.
I mean, if you don't, yeah. Do you actually play it?
No. I bought it before CES 24, I think.
Okay.
CES 2024 to play on the plane, and I played it a little bit, but then just never really did anything with it. And I got it because someone else at work kind of had a similar one, and I was like, "Oh, that's cool. Maybe I should get one for the trip." And it just it just sits there. So this is the financial investment on that one. It was like $80 or something. Like I don't feel bad buying it and having it sit. I'm not going to buy a $600 to $1,000 handheld.
Yeah, I think I really like this gaming handheld, but would I buy it? No, because again, I mean, you travel a handful of times a year, and yeah, I mean that's the only time I would really use it. I don't have a commute. When I'm not like I'm sitting in front of this computer all the time, and this is where if I am home, I'm not gonna like want to sit somewhere else and just game on this small little thing. Like if I have this great computer with this awesome graphics card, like this is where I want to play. So I'm not going to use a gaming handheld. I would buy one like Brian has, like a little emulation type thing, just for fun, or I would probably spend max $200 on one, like get like a nice one that can do like PlayStation and some other things. But beyond that, probably not. And even some of the nicer ones that are a couple $100, those will play like your Steam arcade games and stuff too.
True.
Some of them will. So that's probably what I would do. Not to discount something like this. This is great, especially if like this is what you want. And you have like, when I was in Taiwan, people on the subway were playing these.
Oh, I bet. Yeah.
Yeah. Because that's kind of how you get around. And if you had like a 40-minute commute, you could.
I mean, my commue's like 15 to 20 minutes, depending on traffic.
And there's Wi-Fi.
I'm driving during it, right? So I don't have the.
Yeah, there's Wi-Fi in the on the MRT. So you could be, you could be playing, whatever any online game. So So yeah, I think that's kind of where I sit on it. I think that I would probably get like more of an emulation machine, just because the investment to buy this wouldn't be like I wouldn't play it, that much.
Right.
So yeah. So that is it, guys, for the podcast this week. Of course, we are going to be over on Twitch playing some Apex Legends. We do that every Wednesday, twitch.tv/ThinkComputers. Ryan runs that stream, and he will have that up shortly. Of course, we want to thank everybody who is hanging out in the live stream, Liquid House in James, and of course, everybody else that listens later as well. Thanks for hanging out and saying great episode there, Liquid House. And it was, like I said, it was good to see you guys this past weekend as well. We will see everybody next week, and we're going to be lining up more guests. That's one thing I have to get on my calendar here, is to line up some more people for the podcast. We love guest episodes because it's a lot of fun to talk to people. Yeah. So we'll have that. But like I said, if you want to keep on hanging out, we will be over on Twitch, twitch.tv/ThinkComputers, and we'll see everybody next week.